about the importance of experiments and practical training that are conscious of the five senses and practical examples. In France, the taste education devised and implemented by wine brewing scholar Jacques Puiseux in the 1970s has spread throughout the country, and the educational program is drawing attention in Japan as well. Always conscious of the five senses, valuing what I felt, and sharing what I felt through expressions such as language with others. It is expected that this will foster a sense of self-usefulness, understanding of others, and sociality, and it is considered that practicing this theory in the field of education is extremely effective in the development of children. It is possible to incorporate it in any subject, but especially in the experiments and practical training, it is easy to assemble the contents that are conscious of the five senses, and it can be expected to raise the degree of interest and research object is the idea of taste education advocated by Mr. Puiseux and the necessity of development, and report on examples of practice in Japan. The taste education is education to learn to taste using the five senses, not education to teach taste. Also, I can only express what I tasted, what I felt, and I can't express it. Therefore, I can freely express what I tasted and felt. It is listed in the philosophy. It is thought that the development of vocabulary is promoted by facing the food with independence, listening to the story from the food using the five senses, and expressing the feeling in words. At this time, the child asks his or her memory and derives words from the accumulation. Furthermore, by using the five senses to face food, one can awaken one's senses and reconsider oneself, increasing self-awareness, which is thought to contribute to the formation of self-confidence. In addition, by sharing what you feel with others, you will know that you and others feel differently, develop communication skills, and lead to understanding of others who, by using the five senses to face food in this way, children are highly interested in what they are eating, and in addition to the ability to independently taste food, the background of food you will be interested in what kind of situation there is, and you will acquire the ability to choose food. Furthermore, through activities to verbalize and express what you feel, it also affects human formation such as self-awareness, understanding of others, and improvement of vocabulary and expression. In order to realize this taste education, it is necessary for the child to have enough time to face and feel the food and to express it. And it is important to give time to share what you feel so that the children can get to know each other better. At this time, the adult should accept all the children's remarks and never impose an answer. It is said that branding and dominant actions are not required for taste education, and it is also necessary to convey to children that each person is different as a message. Next, I will report a practical example in Japan that incorporates taste education. I thought that incorporating this philosophy into university classes could contribute to improving the educational effect, and decided to incorporate it into the classes he was in charge of. The target is a cooking science training class for second-year students of the Faculty of Food and Environmental Sciences, Toyo University. In 2021, 77 people attended. Approximately 7 hours of practical lessons, including breaks, were held 6 times each time. Each time, the theme ingredients are set, and the cookability of the ingredients is learned through practical training and experiments. The theme of each session is shown in 1. About dairy product, including sensory evaluation of milk, yogurt, butter, string cheese. 2. About flour, including gluten formation, udon and Chinese noodles, white sauce and brown sauce. 3. About egg, including emulsifying, foaming, heat coagulation. 4. About beans, including water absorption, tofu, soybean flour, red bean paste. 5. About meat, including softening, vacuum cooking, minced meat cooking. 6. About fish, including surimi, denbu, vinegar tightened, artificial salmon roe. This practice focuses on the effect of the introduction of the theory of taste education in practical lessons on the educational effect, not the lessons in which taste education itself is conducted. For that reason, I was particularly conscious of observing and tasting the foods and cooked foods to be tested, and focusing on expressing them in words. At the first time, I fully informed the students that they do not have to worry about the difference in how they feel from others, and that they try to express themselves with respect, results, and discussion. As an activity during the first class, I started by conducting an activity to taste 3 kinds of milk and making an evaluation. At that time, in order to clarify the viewpoint of evaluation, worksheets for describing appearance, fragrance, texture, and taste were distributed and recorded. Table 2 shows an example of a student's description. After this activity, each time I measured using the specified equipment and got objective data. With each lesson, students were seen getting used to recording objects using their 5 senses without giving instructions. It was found that the students used their senses of smell and touch to express what they felt, and evaluation and wording using the 5 senses became a habit, and their vocabulary increased. Table 3 records the state of tuna fish meat performed by the students shown in Table 2 in the 6th fish vinegar tightening experiment. Although the viewpoint to be observed is not specified, it can be seen that the viewpoint of evaluation is set in detail, such as the state of the surface, the state of the cross-section, and the hardness. In addition, the amount of each description tended to increase compared to the first time. Using one's 5 senses to sense various information such as the characteristics of the subject and the state of change, placing emphasis on the activity of expressing, and repeatedly practicing it is the observation necessary for experiments and practical. It is thought that it can be closer and deeper to the essence. In the case of simply observing, sometimes it is possible to be biased only to the information obtained from the visual sense, but as a result of always being aware of using the 5 senses, it is possible to learn to use the sense of smell and touch, and to observe naturally. This leads to the acquisition of more information that can be used as a basis for considering the results because more information can be obtained from the subject, and contributes to creating a good cycle of deepening learning. In addition, since the content of the description of what was felt by the 5 senses was not given a superiority or inferiority in the evaluation, it was seen that the students described it with a sense of security as a place where they could freely express what they felt. It is thought that it also contributed to the increase. Conclusion. In experiments and practical training, activities that emphasize the use of individual senses are first introduced, and after making them aware of what it is like to evaluate using the 5 senses, they face the subject and themselves from the perspective of evaluation. It was suggested that the ability to find in was improved, and that repeating activities to put what was felt into words would contribute to the improvement of expressiveness. This is expected to be useful as an approach that creates a good cycle in learning by deepening the knowledge and understanding of the object. Thank you for watching.